Okay, said Chip as he reluctantly left the clubhouse for the day. I'll leave now. Hey, buddy, the walker replied. You still looking for some adventure? I got just the thing for you. He handed Chip a white key. Cool, said Chip, eagerly grabbing the key. This here key's for the door of that old mansion down the block, the walker told him. Nobody lives there anymore, so you just go in there and have some fun. Thanks, Chip responded as he started down the road excitedly. Yeah, nobody lives there, the walker said quietly after Chip was gone. But I sure didn't say nothing about the dead that's still a-roamin'. What's up, everybody, and welcome back to CCLP3. You know who I am, you know why I'm here, as Jeffrey would say. Let's move on with CCLP3 with the Ghosts at the Massingham Mansion. So, this level was created by Andrew Gapik, a designer who was around back in the early 2000s. I think he stopped frequenting the news group regularly like around the mid-2000s, but he's long ago submitted a set that had like over 200 levels. About, I think, 2 of them actually made it into CCLP3, and this was certainly one of the most memorable overall. It's basically like a block pushing / monster evasion level, and it makes reference to the fact that the gliders are called ghosts by quite a few fans. And that's mainly, I think, just because of how they look in the MSCC tile set. They look more like a ghost there, even though they are dark. Whereas in the Tile World tile set, they actually look more like jets. You know, they look like something that would have the name glider. But anyway, this level actually has something of an interesting story behind it. I haven't really talked a whole lot about that stretch of levels that we called Chip's Travels back in, I think it was like level 67 to 75. Basically the haunted house to Chip Alone Lost in Chip City, I think. But anyway, that stretch of levels has an interesting story behind it. And it was partially born out of this desire to see, well, for lack of a better way of putting it, 2 clubhouses in the set instead of 1. Because, after all, a sequel needs to be bigger and better than the original, and what's better than 1 clubhouse? 2 clubhouses. So, yeah, that's pretty much how that all happened. And I guess that toggle door didn't get hit. Okay, I was hoping for a collision there, but apparently that did not work, so time for plan B. Yeah, the idea, I was trying to press the toggle button. There was a glider that came out of this trap when I hit the button. I was hoping it would collide with the glider that's bouncing around here, but it didn't quite work, so I'm going to try something a little bit different. But there was a bomb up here and it got blown up, so that'll be helpful, at least. Anyway, back to the story. We had this series of levels that we planned to bridge the gap between the 2 clubhouses. And we decided to make that series of levels out of anything that could have theoretically taken place outside the clubhouse. So we scoured around and found some levels that worked. Problem was, a lot of them tended to be levels that were pretty easy. And there's nothing wrong with being easy, but part of the issue with it was that we were really hoping to find some levels that fit more within that context, you know, as far as what would be appropriate difficulty-wise. Please tell me that will work. Yes, it did. Okay. I shouldn't have gone out of there until I saw for sure, but at least I won't have to cause a bunch of chaos with these gliders here, because that was going to be plan C, and I really did not want to do that. Okay, good. We got everything taken care of. And, oh wait, the other chips are in here. So, anyway, we had a bunch of levels like the Haunted House and Fireball Tourism, and I'd say Take the I-Train especially. They were all levels that could have been, and actually would have been, placed earlier in the set had we originally had our plan the way we were hoping. But we didn't quite have everything work out that way, because we really wanted some levels to fill out that section. So the difficulty curve of the set felt really strange during that whole sequence, I'm sad to say. And later on, I think it was Modhav who came up with the idea that we should have a second set of traveling levels that would be a little adventure Chip would have later on. And is that... oh, it's up there, right. I should know this. I recently tried optimizing this further and I couldn't get anywhere. So... Oh, wait. Right, I have 2 more red keys to get. Right. Duh. So anyway... I'm trying to make sure that doesn't happen. There you go. Anyway, I think the second set of levels that comes around now is a little more difficulty appropriate than the first one. So yeah, it's interesting seeing how this all played out, but I'd say that was one of the things I didn't like about the set was the Chip's travel section, even though in theory I don't think it was a bad idea. It was just not exactly well handled, particularly since, you know, there really wasn't that much of a need for a break in difficulty at that point in the set. Anyway, moving on to Triple Alarm. Let's see what the story segment for this part is. No sooner had Chip stepped outside the mansion's back door than he heard a sharp whistle and found himself immediately surrounded by a group of policemen. "You're under arrest," a policeman told him as another proceeded to handcuff his wrists. "Huh?" Chip exclaimed, astonished. "For what?" "Breaking and entering, unlawful use of explosives, and stealing chips," was the reply. "That's ridiculous," said Chip. "I was told that—" "That's the guy, officer." Chip turned around to see the walker from the clubhouse pointing to him. "He stole the key last night when I had my back turned." "Interesting," the officer replied. "How would he know when you had your back turned since you look the same from both directions? But anyway, I'd say there's enough evidence to nail this guy." Chip realized that he had been framed. A few hours later, he found himself confined in a prison far away from the clubhouse, but he didn't intend to stay there for long. So yes, this level and the next level is a little prison break storyline, which starts with this level, Triple Alarm, and it tells you about not setting off this alarm system. Notice this right here. This is the alarm system. You don't want to set this off. In other words, get the toggles switched until you're ready to leave. So there's 3 places in the level that this could happen. And this could happen by disrupting the monster path or pushing the button yourself. You know, just stuff like that. So I'm going to try to make sure that it doesn't happen. Now, the bold route for this level, which recently I was able to break Pie Guy's record on this level, and I got a new record, which you can see right there. The bold route involves setting the alarm off like pretty much immediately and doing a bunch of crazy shenanigans with that. But thankfully that's not going to happen here. I believe the solution to this is just to put this there. Okay, good. Okay, so that should stay. And all the paramecia have drowned, so we can go in here. Excellent. Okay. So yeah, if you don't set off the alarm, it's a pretty simple level. Still pretty tricky, but mostly simple. So now we've got the fire boost, and now we can actually make use of that block area at the bottom. So let's go back. This is actually the main time saver that you'd be exploiting by setting the alarm off early, is you wouldn't actually be using this because you wouldn't waste a key here. And I don't think there are actually any monsters that use the dirt here, so I'm just going to go ahead and go. Yep, the key is right there. Okay. And I don't think any of the other blocks have stuff under them, so we should be good to go. Oh, man, excuse me. I am so sorry for all this sneezing lately. I actually got sick the other night. I don't know if I mentioned it in a video or not, but I haven't really gotten sick much since I moved to Colorado, but I got a little cold the other night. It was kind of a little strange because I caught it early before it got really bad. But still, it wasn't the most pleasant thing. Usually whenever colds, you know, take hold of me, they're pretty crazy as far as intensity goes, but this one wasn't so bad. And I hope that doesn't affect anything for the worse as far as... Okay, well, that wasn't exactly what I had in mind, but, you know, oh, I set the alarm off. Well, that's just great. I guess the slide delay did do something somehow. Okay, well, we'll have to see if we can survive. Actually, I don't think we need to bridge through that column since we've got all of this stuff here. The good news is that the teeth that are being let out are mostly blocked off right now by walls and stuff, so we should be mostly safe. Like, we already went to the fire area, and that was, I think, the most risky part of everything as far as teeth being freed. Because they start off in the lower right corner of the level, and they go through a teleport, and let's see, I can show you right here. In fact, one of them's blocking the teleport right now. And we already got the stuff in there, so we should be good to go up here. I'm actually going to get all the chips around the edges. Oh, no. You know what? I'm going to go for it. Let's just see how this goes. So yeah, some of them are blocking the teleports, and there's a teleport right by the fire area, which complicates things significantly. Okay, that should work, and we should be good to go. Oh no, don't... It didn't go down! The ball blocked it, it didn't go down! You can see what I was trying to do there, right? Okay, so I was going across here. The teeth was supposed to go there, but the ball blocked him! Oh my goodness. Okay, what chip did I even miss? What did I even miss on this? I'm trying to think of... I thought I got every little thing in this level, but apparently I did not. Wow, okay. Well, I'm definitely going to be watchful for chips that I forgot about. I don't think there's one under the blocks in the fire room. I don't think. Oh, this is going to be a lot. I was going to say a lot rougher. I'm going to actually wait here to go along with the larger gap. Yeah, the bold route just totally, just tears through that without any regard for timing for the most part. Okay, so, well, first things first, I'm actually going to try not to open up the alarm system again. Hopefully. But what chip did I miss? This is going to be bothering me now. I'm going to be wondering what I didn't do. I did bridge to the chip in the Paramecia section. That much I know. Yeah, I distinctly remember doing that last time. Oh boy, this is going to be close. There we go. Uncover every block. Is it this block? Nope. Funny thing is that fireball over there isn't even affected by any of the blocks, which is kind of funny. Nope, nothing under these. I don't even remember going all the way over there for chips before, so I'm just going to run with the assumption that there's no chips under any of that stuff. So if that's the case, what chip did I not get? I'm sure, and by the way, I'm going to watch these videos afterwards, so you don't have to tell me in the comments. I can plainly see in hindsight. I'm just totally missing what I did wrong here. Well, anyway. Oh, it was this one, right? The one right there? I think it was that one. I totally forgot about that one. I think that's it. It has to be that one. Alright, so I think we've solved the mystery there. So yeah, this level was made by Peter Marks. I mentioned him earlier during the Cypher level as one of the staff members. He's actually from Australia. We had quite an international staff. Modhov is from India. Peter's from Australia. And I'm pretty sure we had at least one Canadian among us. Okay, so when I... Oh wait, I'm not even opening that, so never mind. Okay, at this point, I'm actually going to get this. And then I think I'm going to open up the alarm. So, slide delay time. Okay, there we go. Oh, it didn't trigger. Okay. Well, so I'm going to have to find a way to trigger it. Well, that's easy enough. I can just go right up here. There we are. Good stuff. And now, hopefully, we can exit for good this time. And this time, the teeth nestled right in the perfect spot, which is awesome. Alright, all the chips are collected. I'm going to wait here for that ball. There we go. And we finish with a bowl time that's nearly 100, or a time that's nearly 100 seconds below the bowl time. Anyway, moving on to Prison Break. This is the other Andrew Gapic level in the set. And we figured it would work pretty well with this whole Prison Break thing. Block the guards in and get the required items in order to escape. This is primarily a block pushing level. It's a pretty fun level though. But it's one of those, you have to try everything until something works levels if you're optimizing, which is kind of a little bit of a pain. Anyway, this level was actually originally titled Alcatraz in Andrew Gapic's set, and we thought it would be better just to give it another name just because Zarticla was in CCLP3 and that was a play on Alcatraz already. So we didn't really feel like another level that had those letters would really work too well. Not to mention that this Zarticla looked a little more like Alcatraz, to be honest. I mean, it had the hallway kind of aesthetic going. So this is the thing you have to block in, this glider right here. Because it's pressing all those buttons, and those clone some fireballs on the left side of the level, which impede your progress. So I'm going to take another 2 blocks up there and take care of that real quick. Modhov actually had an idea for this level. He had a couple level ideas that we didn't use. One was just called Azkaban in honor of Harry Potter. And we figured that would have been too strange of a reference to put in CC. I mean, we didn't really want the Harry Potter world to cross over with the CC world, as awesome as that would have been. So we decided to go with something else. Another level title was Yet Another Prison, you know, named after yet another puzzle. But we decided to go with just generic Prison Break instead. I wouldn't have minded Yet Another Prison, but we already had a sequel to Yet Another Puzzle in the set anyway, so I think that was part of the reason we declined that idea. For now, we have the part that gets a little hairy here with blocking this ball. Some rather strange monster dodging pretty late in the level. And it involves ice, and that kind of makes things a little crazy here. The timing for ice in MS can be very deceiving. That's one reason why I'm not a big fan of it. And it's especially deceiving when slide delay is involved. In fact, I'm just going to do it this way. There's a few ways you can do this, but I'm going to try doing things the simple way. I've been trying to learn my lesson about not making things overly complicated. Okay, good. That did work. Alright, so now we should be free to push blocks wherever we want over there. This is another thing that's kind of a little bit annoying in terms of optimization, is that you have to time everything such that you do minimal weighting with this ball on the left. That can be a little tough, not gonna lie. And then we have a little trap over here. You see that green door that's up by those chips over there? You want to make sure that green door is left alone, because that glider is going to need to hit the button repeatedly. And if you don't leave it alone, then he's going to just go out of the room. And so we're going to go back this way through this stuff. There we go. So all our boots are gone for now, at least. And I'm going to let this dude out of here. There we go. So one thing I haven't mentioned yet is that it's kind of a shame that toggle button presses in MS rule set are not audible. Like, I've always wondered why that is. Alright, there we go. Because in Lynx, they're totally audible. You can hear them. Alright, made it out of the prison. Moving on to Civilization of Creatures. Free at last, Chip said to himself, letting out a quiet laugh. He crept stealthily through the dark secret passage leading out of the prison until he could finally see the daylight shining through an opening at the end. Chip emerged into what seemed like a wildlife sanctuary. Looking at the map, Chip realized that if he could get out of there, all he had to do was swim across the river to the beach near the clubhouse. But for now, he was out alone at the mercy of the elements and every type of creature that he had ever known. So, this level is basically a every monster ever is in it kind of level. It's a giant item swapper is really what it is. It's another Tyler Sontag level. And you can see here more of his penchant for using decorative fire, which is pretty awesome, but I felt like in these levels, at least, it was a little overdone. Whereas, like, in the original levels, I think the original levels like Slide Step and Paranoia and Corridor did it really well. I would really like to know who designed those, because I really loved those levels a lot. Like, whoever they were, if they weren't designing for CC2, they should have been. Okay, this part right here is rather irritating if you're an optimizer. Come on, just go and die in the water. Come on, there you go. Yeah, you have to have like perfect luck with that if you want to get the bold time. Okay, and I'm pretty sure that there's no more possible seconds in MS, or... Come on, really? I could have made that if I didn't hold down the down key like I should have. I'm pretty sure there's no more possible seconds in MS, or even links for that matter. Because I tried to be super thorough when I optimized this in links. Like, it took pretty much a whole day to get the time I got. This section's a little... It's kind of like Backtrack with the section I made with the bugs. It's a little mean in terms of sidestepping off the force floors. But thankfully not that bad since you're not all traveling in the same direction. And I need to... Oh wait, it's the tank area, that's right. Okay, so I'm also going to start pushing this block on the upper left around, because we need to get this in the bottom. Oh wait, that's the blob. This one. Okay. This is precarious, but not that bad. Okay, and now with that done, I think we can go onward to this section over here. Whoa! Easy there, boy. Alright, and then we just need to wait for him. So yeah, this section is a giant equalizer, because it takes like a whole, I think, 10 seconds for that paramecium to make an entire cycle. And you pretty much have to have perfect blob luck in MS to make it through this. In links, you thankfully you need to wait, which really helps. But, I mean, it helps make the blob wait a little bit easier, but you still don't have a lot of time to waste. Alright, so we get off here. Just do a little bit of dodging. Press this button 3 times. I'm going to wait on that. Okay, so we pressed it 3 times, and I think we know what that controlled. That was this glider cloner here, and now we can press this and finally deal with this section. Once we get the block up there. And now! Okay, good. So we just need to make one more round. I should have done that earlier so we can totally get rid of the second round around the level, but I do like zipping around force floors. It is fun. So let's clone a teeth. Okay. Thankfully that thing doesn't get obstructed. That section's always a little bit nerve-wracking because of boosting. And this right here is just mean, this blob. Especially in links, this section is bad. Come on, blob. Actually, I'm just going to wait up here. Just get out of the left side. Come on. I really don't want to die here. Just go to the right side. Psst! Boo! There you go. I'm going to block you in there. Alright. And we have even more monster dodging with this teeth, which thankfully is not that bad. And on the way out... Okay, please go away, thank you. The way out's not bad, but with the blocks in play, it's just really annoying. But thankfully we were able to get all that done. We can make our way to the exit with our newfound suction boots, and we are out of the civilization of creatures. There we go. And moving on to caves. Chip trudged through the forest as he headed toward the river. Suddenly, the ground under his feet gave way, and down he fell through a deep hole until he landed with a soft thump on a heap of non-recyclable plastic. He lifted himself up, and started looking around the underground tunnel. At one side of the cave was a table. On it stood a bottle with "Drink Me" printed on it, and a cake with "Eat Me" written likewise. "These are way past their expiration date," Chip remarked after a brief examination. He continued exploring deeper into the tunnel. In the darkness, his eyes could make out a lamp lying in a corner on the floor. "I wonder," Chip thought as he picked it up and opened the lid. The next moment, there was a flash of light, followed by a puff of smoke, and then a frog smoking a cigar hopped out of the lamp onto a rock in front of Chip. "Kiss me," said the frog, "and I shall grant you 3 wishes." "Huh?" said Chip, thoroughly unimpressed. "You've got it all mixed up. That's not how it works." Okay, the frog replied. "I'll tell you the truth. Melinda sent me here to give you a couple of hints for the later levels." "I don't think so," Chip responded skeptically. "She worded them as dispatches, of course," the frog continued, "but I thought I would make things more interesting by setting them to verse." "Good grief," Chip exclaimed, frantically looking around for a way to escape. "Okay, here's the first one," the frog began before Chip could object. "To reach the very end, you must root again for your friend, who will journey on his or her own to help you through the final door." "Political correctness has no place in poetry," Chip groaned, "and that didn't even rhyme correctly." "Hey, look," the frog replied, "it's not like I do this for a living. I have a full-time job at the clubhouse trying to get to people when they're stuck. Well, anyway, ready for the next one?" "Let's get it over with," Chip answered, bracing himself. "Okay, here goes," the frog continued. "In a level with a pie, there's more than meets the eye. Look before you leap into the water, and, you'll live happily ever after." "Okay, enough. I'm out of here," snapped Chip. "Well, so am I," said the frog. "And just so you don't get lost, I'll also let you know that this tunnel leads through a series of caves under the sea until it reaches an oil rig. I'll catch you later in the clubhouse." And with that, the frog vanished slowly, beginning with its teeth and ending with its exasperating sense of poetry, which remained for a while after the rest of it had gone. Yeah, that was a rather odd inclusion, but we wanted to do something to provide some hints for some of the really devious levels later in the set, which I'm going to reference this a little bit once we get to those. And this level, this is actually one of my favorite levels in the set. It's a level by Gavin Duncan, and I think this level is really clever. A lot of people don't like it, but I think that's because they normally approach this as a melee level, but it's really a puzzle. And you really have to be super clever with how you approach this puzzle. It's pretty crazy. And I'm probably not doing a very good job with this, but I don't even care at this point. Hopefully, no. Okay, I think everything's stabilized over there, so I'm just going to go ahead and push this block over here. So yeah, we came up with this idea to use the frog that was basically the character in My Friend earlier in the set, in level 12, to give these hints out. And I don't know if it was exactly the most well-executed idea, but it was certainly a fun one to play around with, at least. Okay, so here at the very end, we have to figure out a way to direct these guys back while we do our dirty work here. I pressed left. I totally pressed left. What was that? That was silly. Another thing that was kind of an almost Harry Potter reference in the set was that we were going to have the frog in the second poem with "Look before you leap into the water" and "My name's not Harry Potter," which would have been really awkward, but we decided to make the rhyming even more terrible by going with what we went with. So, yeah. Let's see. You've got to be kidding, really? That actually has never happened to me before. I can't honestly say that that's ever happened. Okay. So the idea is that I'm trying to get the monsters in the final room, but then I'm going to... oh, crap. That's not good. Did I just misdo everything over there? I need to check this. No, this was right. I was just... Okay, so apparently it just didn't work out well. Okay. Okay, you can loop around. Please go back, please go back, please go back. Good, okay. No! Really? Let's do that. Will the timing be different? Stay tuned as we discover that it is not. Okay, so we're going to have to do something a little bit clever here. And that was not clever. That was dumb. I'm so used to optimizing this, and I'm not even doing a good job with that, so yeah. I'm just kind of pointlessly pushing stuff around. I'm not even treating this like a puzzle anymore. I mean, I am treating it like a melee level, and I'm paying for that, basically. Okay, so I want to make sure that this actually goes off without a hitch. This fireball going in there. Okay, it did. Okay, so at this point, it's just the glider going in there. As long as we can get that underway, the rest of the level shouldn't be too bad. Okay, good. They bunched up together. Alright, so yeah, you just have to cord them off into areas that work for you, and then from there you can work out everything else. Alright, so the last two blocks again. Let's do this. And I still have not found the last second in the bold time for this level. Pie Guy is apparently very good at this type of level, and I'm not. So, yeah. Because this was like one of his first records, if I remember correctly. Okay, you guys go back there, and then I will do this. That's the way you're supposed to do it. I was just making everything really stupid there. And I made everything stupid even more by waiting needlessly. Oh, come on. I'm so hesitant, and I'm paying the price for that. I shouldn't be this hesitant. Or that reckless. I have to find this balance between being reckless and being hesitant. That's apparently been one of my big issues here. Alright. I still really love this level, though. It's just such a neat concept. I tried making my own level based on this idea, but it wasn't even close to being this good. But it somehow still made it into the set. Like, it was one of the highest voted levels. I think it may have been higher than this. But we'll see that a little bit later. Okay, let's do this again. Yeah, Gavin had a really interesting knack for making levels that involved crazy monster manipulation and stuff. They were kind of a refreshing breath of fresh air. Okay, let's see here. There we go, made it. Alright, that was Caves. Moving on to Oil Rig. Ooh, I love this level. Surely there's no chance of you escaping this abandoned oil rig, huh, Chip? So, the mysterious, weird frog guy told us about this. And this is a level by Daniel Baumeister. And I always have memories of this level being teased before he released his set. So back in 2003, possibly 2 actually, it may have been 2002, he posted on the guest book for Ann Olsen's site. She had a level repository site, kind of like the Yahoo group, except it wasn't quite as extensive. She just tried to update it with files from the Yahoo group, and I think she stopped updating it in 2003, and I totally fell for the trap there. So she had these levels on there, and so Daniel posted on her guest book, hey, I made some levels, and you should check out, these previews for them. And so instead of previews like images, like a lot of people do today when making levels, he posted descriptions of the levels, and he made them sound like epic, movie, log lines and stuff, which was really awesome. I mean, I don't think any designer had really done that before. Like, he was, like, he made a level called Hot Pursuit, I think it was, and he was leading off the description with, like, the chase is on, navigate this intense section or this intense gauntlet of monster dodging, or, just something cool like that. I don't think, many designers really do that anymore, but I loved that. Like, I actually tried doing that for some of my own levels, I think, at one point, and then I just stopped because it kind of got a little pointless. But I remember this level had a pretty cool teaser as well, and it really piqued my interest because it was like, there are all these blocks and you gotta deal with them and blah 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 blah, and oh man, I loved it. And we have a block checkerboard here, which is not really that bad because there's a lot of different ways to handle it, and it is really difficult to optimize, though, I will say that. In fact, the one thing that evaded me from getting an optimal time on this level was not thinking through all the possibilities of what you could do in this room. But the good news is that there are some combinations that yield like tons of extra blocks. Like, at least, I think there's one that has at least 2. I guess that's not tons, but it's still something. This one, I'm pretty sure we have... Is this 0 extra blocks? I think it is. The whole point is you need to get keys, and then you get to deal with the outside of the oil rig, which is kind of a bit extraneous as far as stuff goes. And I think that's mainly just because you have to do a lot of back and forthing. So like right here, we're going to need to get another couple of blocks up that force floor slide, which are right here. And we get another key. But you have to do these giant loops, and it's just... I'm not a big fan of just taking long trips just because, but I do like this aesthetic, like, of this outer area. It looks really cool. Alright, we're getting there. I always loved quoting Star Wars. Almost there. Stay on target. Stay on target. There's also a chip under there, which is a little mean, but, I mean, it totally makes sense that there's nothing else you can do with that. And nice fake-out exit path there. So here... Well, actually, no, there is something we have to do with it. We have to push it into this room. My bad. This is the irony of this. I actually just optimized this level recently, and I'm already forgetting about it. So I'm going to go ahead and swing back around again, and then I'm going to have to push that block. Actually, let me push the block first. Let me do that. So push you over there. And then I go all the way around like this. I miss Daniel Bouwmeester. I wish he would come back and make more levels. There's so many designers I would love to see come back and make levels. Like, just imagine what Tire Folly would do with CCL or CC2, or let's see, what are some other ones? I would love to see what Tom Rao would do with CC2, or Pie Guy. I mean, just imagine the craziness he could do with all those logic gates. I mean, it would be awesome. Alright, so the frog also mentioned a river, which is what we're going to tackle in this level, Lazy Hourglass. This level holds a special distinction in the set because it was one of the few levels, in fact I think it may be the only level, from CCLP3 that didn't make it there from that voting process to make it into this set. So that's, oh man, I forgot how crazy the dodging is in this, but it is really fun though once you get to the edges and you start just tearing this apart here and killing balls off. Killing balls off, that's going to be a level title, just knowing Josh. Why'd I do that? I mean, come on. That was dumb. Okay, they bunched up, good. Not going to risk that. Why did I not clear that dirt? So you're going to have to cross from one side of the river to the other, and so you're going to need a few blocks for that. But you can do it right here because there's a chip blocking the way, so you're going to have to do it like a row below. Which thankfully is not that bad, but we're going to have to go back up through here and kind of do the same thing we did earlier. And then we have a whole other side to do all this on, so fun stuff. The weird thing, though, is that the other side is not actually symmetrical in terms of the chip placements. Like, there's actually chips that don't exist in spots where you'd think they would be. Okay, so we got 20 left, so we're good. I think that's the number we're supposed to have. I'm just going to put that up there just so that won't be bothering us. The good news is that we're already in the center area, so we can just go proceed directly to the outside stuff instead of starting in the middle of the thick area. If thick area is a good term for that. No! See, I pressed at the wrong time, and then I hesitated at the wrong time, and then that's just the worst. Like, because I didn't want to hold the button down, because I was afraid I would just plunge right into a ball or something. But then, when I let go at the exact most inopportune time ever, and now I'm just making all kinds of silly mistakes for some reason. So recently, I actually set a new record on this level. I was actually just trying to get the bold time, and then I ended up finding a pretty decent route that allowed for it. But even with that, I felt like I could have gotten another second if it weren't for equalizing stuff. So that's always a bummer, like whenever you come across something like that. But yeah, there's a bunch of stuff in the right area that has to go right in order to get more time, and it's just not looking like that's possible. I don't want to rule it out completely, but I have not been able to figure out a way to do it. So, yeah. Okay, that time it actually went well, even though I hesitated again. Okay. Please don't die here. I really like the design of this, though. It's a really cool level. And it is a Tyre Thali level. I think it's the only level she has in the set. I'm still going to refer to Tyre Thali as a she, because I think it's a woman's name. Okay, so that's a bunch of balls destroyed. I'm going to go... Yeah, I'm going to wait for that. There we go. Okay, so you're going to go ahead and go there, so the exit's cleared. And now I need to do the bottom area. Which hopefully won't be too bad. Just trying to concentrate. I'm sorry if I'm not commenting very much right now. And I have a chip left. Where's... Oh, here. Oh, whoa! That could have been terrible. Alright, Lazy Hourglass done, and I think I'm going to cut things off there for now, and we will move on to Magic Trick in the next video. So take care, guys, and I will catch you on the flip side.